What's up, YouTube? It's your boy 24 Palms back in this bit. Once again, we on stream. Second reaction of the day. We got this is the only way to settle this debate by one of my goats, Jimmy High Roller. But y'all know FTC is my goat. Flight Reacts, that's my real goat. But let's get into this. Y'all know who I think the goat is. Wemby. Nobody's better than Wemby ever.
Ever.
Yo, prank call my bro. You down to prank call my little bro? Unc. First off, nigga, I'm not your unc. I'm only 19. Fuck. I would have to end the TikTok stream. Cause I'm on Twitch on my on the PC and then my phone on this TikTok. I would have to end the TikTok. I would have to end the TikTok live. Y'all had to come to the Twitch and shit. And then y'all put the numbers in there. I'll do it. If y'all want to do that segment, y'all just gotta come through.
Who? I never even heard of that guy.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about the guy that used to play cornerback on the Falcons? And then he got the one-handed pick like these on the Dolphins? Or am I talking about somebody different? Let's get into this video. Same name up here, just an underscore after the R. Pull up, put a number in the chat, and I got you. We can do that segment. I'm down. Ain't got shit to do.
Ranking NBA players is useless, but it's also really fun. Every NBA fan at some point has created their own.
My mom is asleep. I don't know why I just did that shit. Sorry about that, Mom. 76ers? Let me look this guy up real quick. Huh. Okay. Quentin Grimes. I'm just kidding. Quentin Grimes. Number 6 on the Knicks. And number 5. Oh, he's that guy that got that nasty jump shot like these? Oh, hell yeah. He is pretty cold. He is cold. I got his card on 2K. His shit pretty nice. Habby is my... I'm not reading your full name, bro. Pause. All right, bro. We gonna do the prank call react. After this reaction, we gonna do that segment. We ain't got shit to do. Anybody else want to do? Question mark. Tap the yard. Pull up to the purple app and drop a follow. I got you. I'll blink it.
Ranking. It's like our official pastime at this point. And with the game as data-driven and awards and accomplishments as absolute as the
Bet. We gonna do it as soon as this video. You see, it's a little. I think it's say 13 minutes. I don't got my glasses on this shit. We gonna call these two niggas for it. We gonna do this segment. Let's do it. But who is y'all's NBA GOAT? Mine is Wemby, as I already said. But who is y'all's? Mine's Wemby, then LeBron at 2, Curry at 3, Jordan at 4, Paul George at 5. Wardell, Steph Curry, he's my third best player. But Boobin Marijuanovic?
NBA has. You'd think,
bro, he's a waste of talent, bro. He should have been like Wemby. There's no reason Wemby and him are the same height, but he's just doing D's and shit. Come on.
Ranking players would be a fairly simple task. But despite the countless efforts to make a flawless, coherent all-time ranking of NBA players, no one can seem to get it quite right. Some players ranked too high, others too low, some not even ranked at all. Make any of these mistakes and your ranking will immediately get dismissed. The latest attempt of this fleeting endeavor came last week from Bleacher Report when they released their top 100 NBA players ever list. A ranking that seemed
the worst list of all time. Appreciate the gifts. You unlocked the yard tap, bro. Let's get it. In the year 2025, there's no reason Wembanyama should have been that low. KD that low. Paul George that low. That shit made me want to crash, nigga. fuck Bleacher Report. But I always down to, it's not really fuck you. Fuck your list. I love you, Bleacher Report. I want to be on there one day. Y'all gonna see me 1v1 like. I seen a kid, bro. I'm yapping, bro. Fuck what I'm talking about. Let's get to this video.
Relatively good, but was met with an onslaught of criticism. Like everyone else that made an attempt before them, this list was not accurate. Not good enough. Why is it so difficult to make an all-time
Anybody in the
ranking
chat look at the list? Top 100 list? Let me know.
that we can all agree on? I mean, we all have our own opinion, our own personal bias. Is it even possible to make such a list? And if we could, how would we even create it? Well, believe it or not, there is a method that we can use to rank every player in NBA history with shockingly good accuracy. It doesn't use any numbers or data.
I feel like the Spurs team's overrated. Well, Timmy Duncan, he's not that far. Come on.
No formulas or advanced metrics. It is a method way simpler than you would ever think, and yet manages to get results with nearly 100% accuracy. Even crazier, we actually use this method all the time.
Really? Timmy Duncan, yes sir.
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Hey, shout out SeatGeek. Not playing that ad over here. You ain't pay me. I ain't even getting paid off YouTube yet, baby. Jordan Wash solos Tim Duncan. I agree. He used to be fire in high school. I don't know what he's doing in the NBA. I ain't checked up on him. Last time I seen he was on the Celtics.
100 NBA players ever list. And to absolutely no one's surprise, people were not happy about it. Among some of the more
LeBron
glaring
at
complaints
two?
about Bleacher Report's list include Shai
Wemby
Gilgeous-Alexander,
should've
the now MVP, Finals MVP, and champion,
how did
not
Shai
even
not
making
even
the
make the
list.
list?
Jason Tatum landing at 93. John Stockton ranked ahead of players like Chris Paul and Kawhi Leonard, and of course Kobe Bryant
Exactly.
falling outside of the top 10. Despite
That's-
polling their
I
staff of
understand
NBA
it,
experts,
but-
writers, and editors, the results of this comprehensive ranking only left people confused and annoyed. Ranking players should not be this difficult.
24
and yet it is.
problems.
But to understand why
Same
it's so
name up here.
difficult, we first need to
Underscore
understand why
after the
every
article.
ranking, no matter
see
how
it.
thought out it is, how logical the criteria is, how much data was used,
Pull up.
always falls
I got a
short.
blinker for you, pull
One
up.
popular approach that some fans
cap.
and experts have taken over the years is the formula method. Create a point-based system and apply those points to various factors like career stats, accolades, and impact to make an objectively accurate ranking. A method that has been tested countless times with varying levels of success. Last
I'm
year,
not
John
gonna lie. I love Jimmy Howard videos, but when he be doing this goddamn math and shit, I'll be getting lost. I'll be looking like D's. Be looking like these.
Hollinger, longtime NBA analyst and a man credited with creating some of the first advanced NBA statistics, created a formula to determine his all-time top 100 list. His criteria being a point-based system that put varying levels of weight into factors like MVP shares, finals MVPs, win shares, and career box plus minus. A formula that resulted in LeBron
watered
as the
down,
GOAT,
but
Jordan
still in,
second, Kareem
I'll
third,
get y'all
Duncan
lemonade from
fourth,
McDonald's.
and
That shit is.
Karl Malone
No ice.
fifth all time. This list also features Harden at 13, Hakeem at 19, Steph all the way down at 27, and Isaiah Thomas at 65. This Reddit user went through the trouble of creating an entire model from scratch to achieve the goal of, as he put it, quantifying careers using a formula that combines accolades with simple advanced stats while compensating for era and benchmarking, plus adjusting the weights of the formula against approximate expected rankings using least squared regression. In other words,
what
he
the
used a whole
fuck
lot of
does that
stats and
mean?
accolades, made some applicable adjustments, and put together an all-time top 100 ranking. The results came in, and people hated it. The glaring flaw in this method, as well as every other method that attempts to be completely objective in its approach, is that it's not objective. Even concrete things like stats and awards will inevitably have some sort of weight or value attached to them based partially off of opinion. What is a championship worth, and how do you factor it in? Should there be an era tax on players who played half a century ago? If there is, when does it no longer
era
apply?
tax.
The
Phantom
80s,
tax, era
90s?
tax.
Is peak
Fuck
more
that.
important than longevity, or
Fuck
is
that.
it the
It's
other way
era
around?
tax.
Even awards
Because
that
Kareem's not in my top 20. Bill Russell's not in my top 20. Wilt Chamberlain's not in my top 20. Who else? Who else? Nobody. The only one that's possibly in my top 10 from that time is my top 20 is Larry Bird, and that's because his My Team card is so fire. Oh my god, he barely missed. I love his My Team card. That shit fire.
Themselves,
Should we play some My Team tonight, chat? Y'all let me know.
like MVPs and DPOYs, are voted on by people with their own personal bias. Creating some sort of formula involves attributing value to all of these things, but without any impartial method of weighing all of these factors without injecting some sort of personal bias, the pursuit of creating a perfectly accurate ranking becomes virtually impossible. So, what if we just remove the personal bias? What if we strictly use data and numbers, two important factors that have no bias, to make a completely accurate and nonpartisan all-time ranking? Well, because the rankings get really weird really fast. For example, Box Plus Minus has Nikola Jokic as far
Jokic number 1. Get the fuck out of here.
and away the best player of all time. It also has Luka Doncic 4th, David Robinson 6th, and Tim Duncan 19th. But in the
Tim
right hands
Duncan.
and with enough data, and when used in
Biggest
conjunction
fraud
with
of
one
all
another,
time.
a purely data-driven
Duncan is a
approach
fraud.
could lead us in the right direction. And this is what Ben Taylor of Thinking Basketball did back in 2017 when he created his top 40 list. As Ben says when describing his methodology, I won't attempt to balance Kobe's championships with Shaq, nor do I care about accolades like all-star teams or the number of Hall of Fame teammates someone played with. I also don't care about how many rings a player won. The very thing I'm trying to tease out is who provided the most lift. Instead of trying to assign value to things like rings and MVPs, Ben's list ranks players based on who provided the largest increase in the odds of a team winning a championship over the course of their career. Ben's specific
this is
method
what I
and
like to
reasoning is
hear.
probably the best out there when it comes to seeking an objective ranking, using the best advanced metrics available
That's what I like
and
to
using
hear.
them logically to find the most accurate conclusion. The results of this experiment were eventually updated in 2022 and are generally accepted as a really solid list without the outliers or
Magic Johnson. No, he played 2 years in the NBA. Are we serious? Bro, Magic Johnson should not be on above nobody's top 50. Magic Johnson, he played 2-3 years in the NBA. Magic Johnson is fucking old as shit. That's 1920s. Probably, bro. Like, he was playing plumbers. I'm not gonna lie, he was 6'8" point guard. But, bro, y'all seen the moves he was doing, bro? I do them with bro, you made me lose my train of thought with that shit, Alex. Yeah, bro. Magic Johnson's not in my top 20. Slide Twitch, bro. Slide Twitch.
massive holes
See where
that
we're
other
at,
lists
too.
have. The only problem is, this is not
And
an
I got your
all-time
blinky
player
to pull
ranking.
up.
As Ben stated, this list is a player evaluation, not necessarily a ranking of the greatest players of all time. And it's evaluating how good these players were, their abilities and their effectiveness in using those abilities, not how great they were or what they accomplished. A great exercise in determining which players had the largest impact on the court, but not the best method in determining how that impact actually translated to tangible success. For example, this method is providing evidence that Karl Malone had a larger statistical
Y'all see Karl Malone? He got that 14 beside his name? Because he got a 14-year-old pregnant. Just letting y'all know that. I'll never, ever put Karl Malone on any list of mine. He messed with a 14-year-old, got her pregnant, bro. Fucking crazy.
impact than Stephen Curry over the course of his career, but I'm not sure if there's a single human being on planet Earth that would argue Karl Malone is greater than Steph is. Using purely statistics and data to rank players removes valuable context that certainly matters when evaluating how great they were throughout their career. However, allowing awards and achievements to partially dictate rankings will inherently skew the results due to personal bias and variance of
What do you mean by that, Habby? What do you mean by it'll be a 3? Do you mean by what I just said? Hopefully not. Hopefully the third best player in the league.
opinion. So looking at it through either of these
I see what you typing in chat. YouTube sees what you're typing in chat right there, buddy. Your digital footprint is
lenses will lead you to inaccurate results. But maybe we're looking at this through the wrong lens altogether. We as fans are going to be biased. It's the very nature of being a fan. My team's great and they can do no wrong. So if we need to factor everything in,
Fuck
but
the
we
New
cannot
York
do that
Knicks.
without inserting some sort of bias, what if instead of trying to remove all bias from the equation, we factor this bias
Hey, I thought the
into the
stream turned
equation
off.
by asking fans what it is they value most when ranking players? If the accuracy of the rankings is determined by the fans, then so should the
I'm not
criteria.
gonna lie. What makes me say what my favorite player is, like the greatest player, is like no Diddy, but like how likable they are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Wemby. That's why he's my GOAT. It's Wemby. LeBron is second because LeBron, he has like aura and shit. Like, of course. That's why people like Kawhi gets slipped on. He doesn't have no aura. Yes, I'm 19 years old saying aura. I'm cringing at myself saying that. Unpause the video, man.
Criteria. Well, that's exactly what this Reddit user did. Back in 2020, an NBA fan on Reddit took it upon himself to survey other NBA fans, 662 of them to be exact, on not just what's important to them in terms of greatness, but even what kind of fan they are. Among some of the questions asked were, how long have you been watching the NBA for? The most
Since I was
popular
like
answer
12.
was 6 to 9
I remember
years.
that my first time watching the NBA was like, when was Steph Curry and LeBron had their first finals? Like 2014? I think that was the first time. Because I remember turning that bitch on, seeing Kevin Love drain the three. I used to use it. And then my dad bought me 2K. Because I remember my first 2K was 2K13. So whenever, I got 2K13 when I first started watching. I seen Kevin Love hit the three. That's when I hopped on 2K, start using Kevin Love. For like 2-3 years straight. Every time I use his team. Every time. I know that doesn't matter.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a fan of the NBA are you? Over 80% of the results being at least an 8 out of 10. But here's where things get interesting. One of the questions asked was, what do you think is more important in a player's career? Team success or individual success? 52% of voters said team success and 48% said individual success.
Dang.
Almost an even 50-50 split between NBA fans in
What y'all
response
think
to a
matter
very
more?
important question
Team
with
success or
2
individual
very
success?
different
Y'all let me know
answers.
in
Even
the
more
comment section.
revealing, voters were
Y'all let me
asked,
know in chat
what are
what
the
y'all
top
think.
3 most
y'all say,
important
chat?
measures when evaluating who
success
the
or
greatest
individual?
of all time is? The number 1 answer, career stats. Followed by
I say
number
team.
of championships, number of regular season MVPs,
honestly, it's a
total
mixture
win
of,
shares.
honestly, it's a mixture of both. Cause if your team just winning, you ain't never got no MVP, no DPOY, no, not even first team All NBA. Are you really that guy? Think about it.
And career advanced statistics. The near 50-50 split between the importance of team success versus individual success visible in the almost even voting split between career stats and number of championships. One person can make their rankings based on how good a player was, meanwhile another person could make their rankings based on how much success a player had. 2 completely different criterias. So how exactly can we make a player ranking that is agreed upon if we can't even agree on what actually matters, or at least
Y'all
what
think
matters
anybody in the
most?
world got the
No
same
matter
exact
what
list?
approach you take, no matter how much personal bias or opinion you try to take out of it, the results will always end up skewed in some sort of direction. There's just too many factors, difference in
posterized
opinion,
that.
difference in what matters most from fan to fan. But there is one way, one method that has been proven to be the best way to get to an accurate conclusion about things otherwise not agreed upon. What is this scientifically backed method? It's the exact one Bleacher Report used. Ask people, have you ever seen the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It was a game show where
chat, it's
contestants
hot in
would
here a
answer a
little bit.
series
I'm finna
of
open
multiple
up.
choice questions, with each correct answer winning them more money and progressively getting more difficult until the eventual $1 million question. Now, this game show would feature one sole contestant at a time
slide
who
to
had
the,
to answer these
purple app.
questions by
Send the number. We
themselves.
finna do that
However,
segment.
each contestant was
Already got 2
granted what
people in
were
here
called
sending numbers.
lifelines,
We finna do
tools
that
the
segment after
contestant
this
could
reaction.
use to
Pull
help
up.
them answer
Same
difficult
name.
questions. These 3 lifelines
number.
were 50-50, eliminate 2 of the 4 options in a multiple choice question, leaving the contestant with a 50% chance of getting the right answer. Phone a friend, where the contestant could call a friend live on the show for help. And the third one was Ask the Audience, where each member of the audience would vote on what they thought was the correct answer to any given question. All of these lifelines were valuable, but one of them in particular resulted in the correct answer far more than the others. The 50-50 lifeline, as the name suggests, got contestants to the correct answer about 50% of the time. Phoning a friend resulted in contestants getting the correct answer 66% of the time. But asking the audience resulted in the correct answer 92% of the time. By far, the most accurate method of coming to the correct...
Is that because people was talking to each other, or is that because people want you to know our followers? You know what I'm saying? People, you ain't never been to Twitch before, bro. Just go to the purple app. You know what I'm saying? Just press the little app. You know what I'm saying? Press the little purple app, and then yeah, type up the name you see right there, and then you're gonna be in Twitch vibe.
Answer for any question in the show's history. And this is a demonstration of a concept known as the wisdom of the crowd, an idea that refers to the collective judgment of a group of people often being more accurate than the judgment of any single individual, even an expert. And it is an incredibly accurate method of arriving on the correct answer to any logical question. In 2011, the BBC network put this concept to the test.
Pause. BBC network.
By filling a jar with jelly beans and asking 160 contestants how many jelly beans they thought were in the jar. The answers were absolutely insane, ranging from 500 to 50,000. And yet somehow their collective...
Whoever said 50,000, bro, they need to fire them, because they obviously have no IQ.
Average was unbelievably close to the actual number. After conducting their experiment, it was revealed that there were exactly 4,510 jelly beans in the jar. The average guess among all 160 participants, 4,515. Despite their variance in...
Bro, that's coincidence. You can't tell me it's not. There is no way that if everybody chose different number, that it ended up on the... Bro, that's fucking impossible, bro.
Answers.
Bro, chat, am I crazy? Am I going crazy, chat? Like, is that not weird?
On average, the participants were able to get within 99.9% of the correct answer. By aggregating the opinions or estimates of many individuals, the errors and biases of individual judgment tend to cancel each other out, leading to a collective result that is closer to the truth. And in possibly the most roundabout way I could conjure up, I think this same exact concept can be applied to ranking NBA players on an all-time list. Regardless of what the individuals value most and our own personal bias, if you ask enough people, chances are you'll more than likely end up at an accurate result. Better than strictly using stat-based metrics, better than the eye test or a combination of multiple factors. Simply asking people who the greatest players of all time are will show you exactly who the greatest players of all time are. And evidence of this can be found within the results of Bleacher Report's ranking. Someone ranked Kobe Bryant 18th all time. Their personal top 100 ranking is probably a little wacky. But this vote inadvertently balances out someone else who voted Kobe 4th all time. Same goes for every single player on this list. Someone had Jokic 12th all time, another voter had him 28th, and everyone else had him somewhere in between. The range of votes for Charles Barkley are probably the largest of any player on this list, with one vote for him as the 18th greatest player and another with him as the 74th greatest player. With individual rankings like this, you'd think the final result would be a mess, and yet Barkley ended up being ranked 25th all time, right about where he should be. Can we make a completely accurate ranking of the greatest NBA players ever? Well, we can get really close. In terms of how we would create it and what it would look like, you're looking at it. This isn't a matter of opinion, it is a statistical principle. As Bleacher Report put it when describing their methodology, it's an impossible task, especially when confronted with the reality of comparing players from different eras. Stats help, but calculators won't ever figure all of this out. But asking enough people just might.
W video from High Roller, man. My GOAT still Wemby. That's not changing. But hey, W vid, bro. That'd be motherfucking vid. Like the vid.